Hey, 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 hey. So, I've just done my last run and I feel really good about myself. Not good because I feel like great about myself physically and all that stuff. I feel great about myself because I don't have to run anymore. That's exciting. Strangely exciting. Oh, got it done. Oh my days. I was going to say I tried to go a little bit harder today, but my legs were really sore. I don't know why. I think it's because the past couple of days at work as well have been quite taxing on my legs. So I didn't go as fast as I wanted to. I was going to try and set a new record, but I thought, you know what, just get it done. Just get it done. And that's exactly what I've done. So 31 days, 31 miles. And yeah, let me just highlight some positives. One, my mentality changed in terms of how I was looking at each run. I know that obviously if you're looking over these videos, you're probably thinking, no, I didn't. I was sort of more, at the start of it, it was an effort to get out of the house. Whereas up until now, even after my first week, I sort of wanted to get it done. Again, partly because I set myself the challenge, but also I got into like that routine where my body was like, okay, we should really do this. So that's a positive, that's a little victory, that if you give it time, it becomes part of your routine. It's not long before your body and before your mind accepts the challenge, the venture, whatever it is that you're pursuing. And if you are consistent with it, and this is with everything in life, if you're consistent with it, eventually it will pay off. You will find that you'll see the results if you really stick to it. So I've seen the results with that. My mindset towards running is better. Yes, I still dislike it, but I will still go out and do it. I'm less reluctant to go for a run, particularly in this sort of 31-day period. So obviously there are the added benefits of adding additional physical activity in terms of obviously my fitness levels have increased, my recovery fitness has increased. I sweat all the time anyway, I'm a sweaty Betty, but it's one of those where I'm finding that I'm recovering quicker, even at work where I'm on my feet all day, working quite a warm environment. I'm not as sweaty as I used to be. So obviously that's had some benefits as well. Yes, cheer those little victories. And also I've seen some weight change, I've seen some shape change. So that's gone really, really well. And we know that's going to happen if you increase your physical activity. Even if nothing else changes except that one thing, that variable is enough to activate change. So like I said, I've noticed that in my fitness levels. I've noticed that now in my body shape has changed, not massively. I was only doing 1 mile a day, but it's enough to notice that change in that 30-day period. And also my weight has changed. Like I said, I normally sit around 100 kilos. Just always have been, literally. I've been like that for about 15 years. And now I think I'm around sort of 97. So to sort of see a 3-4 kilo drop, which again in English money, you're looking at sort of 8 to 10 pounds, is quite a good, I guess, weight loss. But as I said before, that wasn't my goal. My goal hasn't been to lose weight because I've been this weight for so long, and I know that my weight doesn't define me. I know that people can be heavier and slimmer. So it's just one of those things where it's looking at the different measuring tools. That's positive. What else can I tell you? Well, it was raining a bit today, so that's the British summertime gone. So now that we're officially going into September, let's see what happens. They forecast some sun over the next few days. Everyone's like, ooh, we're going to have some sun over the next couple of days. It's like, well, we didn't have any for the last sort of 6 weeks, so let's not sort of get too carried away with that one. Yeah, and that's where I leave you on that point. But the biggest thing is to sort of say is, get consistent. As I've said over all these videos, find the reason, the primary reason for you wanting to do the challenge. Find the primary reason for you wanting to make that change. And make sure that at the forefront of that reason is you. You can have the secondary, you can have all of the subcategories of why you're doing these challenges, why you're pushing yourself to make a change. But again, you must come first, and then the other things are just additional motivators or factors that you might want to consider on your journey. So it's really important to put you first. Don't try and change too much too soon. Start with one thing at a time. Like say, just in this 30 days, I did one thing, one big change, and that was to challenge myself to do a mile a day. You don't need to run. You could get out and walk. You can even find that if your challenge is to do 5,000 steps a day, start there, but then be consistent over the days to make sure that you're hitting that target. And then you will start to see the change. You'll start to see not just the physical, like I said at the beginning, you'll see that mental change as well. And then have a look at other things that might be triggers or catalysts in your life that force you down these paths of almost like self-destruction, without it sounding too dramatic, where we normally have, say, a circle of friends who we want to spend a lot of time with, but maybe they knock you off track. There's no shame in sort of identifying people who are close to you who may also be causing you a downward spiral. So maybe it's saying, okay, they're really good friends, I'm keeping them as friends, I'm not getting rid of my friends, but maybe I change the way that I socialize a little bit with them, or maybe I only focus on socializing at certain times where it's not going to impact any of these goals that you're wanting to achieve. Or the other thing is trying to get them on board and making them understand how important this thing is to you, and seeing if they can then help you out. Because there's a lot of times the people next to us or closest to us, our support network as it were, are the ones that will actually derail us the most. They're the ones that will normally offer a little help. They will usually hit you with negative comments, or why are you doing that, or you're going to look like this, or I don't know, what's the point. And they don't necessarily mean it harmful, but it's not supportive, and sometimes it just either triggers the fact that they're not prepared to make a change, and then they're worried about how that might affect your relationship as a whole if suddenly you hit your goals and then they're still where they were before. That's then a journey they need to take. That's not something you need to worry about. So don't let them sabotage you because they are in a position where they don't want to make a change and they're happy how everything is. I watched one of those TED Talks again the other evening. I'm a big fan of Brene Brown. You may have heard of her. She's awesome. She talks a lot about guilt, shame, and I guess acceptance in ourselves, and the barriers between trying to be courageous and finding that strength to be brave, and how the two ends of the spectrum, being vulnerable and being brave, are actually both at the same end. It's really quite interesting and insightful. And the one thing that obviously stands out as a big comment that she made when she was referencing a quote that Roosevelt made in a big speech is, if people aren't prepared to step out of their comfort zone and to put themselves, as she referred to, in the arena, they are in no position to judge you on any failures or any tasks that you undertake. If you're putting yourself out there to be judged, as many of us do on social media, in life, depending on our jobs, if they're not putting themselves out there, if they're just sitting back from the sidelines and throwing, heckling and commenting negatively, their voice means nothing. They don't even need to be making any comments. They'll do it because unfortunately they're insecure. But ultimately, if you're not in that same place, if you're not challenging yourself, stepping out on a limb, putting yourself out there in the same way, then you've got no position to say something. And it's really quite empowering, so I would recommend you checking it out. She's got a number of different talks that she does. This one, I believe, was called Call to Courage. And it's just encouraging you to take that time to find that sort of happy place and that comfort with yourself, but also being aware. And the key factor is, if you put yourself out there, if you challenge yourself and step onto, or into the playing field, she says it's not a case of you need to prepare for failure. She says you will fail. There's going to be elements where you're just going to have to find that inner strength to overcome the fact that in terms of progress, in terms of wanting to move forward and be successful in any element of life, business, whatever, you will fail. It's how you then rise up from that. So it's really interesting. It is a good motivational sort of speech and talk that she does. So I would recommend that one because it does talk to so many aspects of life. So many of us who do battle and struggle with these little things when we want to sort of make those changes. And the biggest thing is, like say, guilt, shame, and putting ourselves in that position where we are opening ourselves for judgment. And that's why they would say don't read the comment section, because you're always going to get some knobhead on there who's going to comment negatively who doesn't know you, they don't know your life, and they're just sat behind a keyboard deciding that they want to sort of heckle you for no reason other than their sad little insecure lives. That's my little bit on there. But the challenge is done. 31 days, mile a day for the month. Really pleased, got it done. So on to the next one. So stay tuned. Hopefully I haven't bored you to tears, but stay tuned, and I'll keep you updated on how the next challenge goes. So enjoy this next month, peeps. Peace out.